Welcome to our spine-chilling journey through the top 15 most haunted places in San Antonio. From eerie whispers in the Alamo to ghostly figures in old mansions, San Antonio is a city steeped in paranormal mysteries. Prepare yourself for terrifying tales of haunted prisons, cursed hotels, and abandoned buildings where the past refuses to stay buried. If you're ready to feel the cold breath of the unknown, this video is for you. 1. The Alamo. The Alamo is more than a historic battlefield. It's a place where the echoes of violent death still resonate. Visitors have reported seeing spectral figures dressed in 19th century military uniforms, silently wandering the grounds. Some claim to hear phantom gunfire and the anguished cries of soldiers long since dead. One night, a security guard described seeing a ghostly figure standing by a cannon, staring out into the night as though waiting for an enemy to arrive. He blinked, and the figure vanished into thin air. The spirits of the fallen seem unable to rest, their pain forever tied to this blood-soaked land. 2. Menger Hotel. The Menger Hotel, near the Alamo, is known as one of the most haunted hotels in America. The ghost of Sally White, a chambermaid murdered by her lover in the 1870s, has been seen roaming the hotel halls. Guests wake to see her translucent figure standing at the foot of their bed, calmly folding invisible sheets. The most famous encounter was reported by a guest who felt a cold hand touch his shoulder late at night. When he turned, he saw Sally's form slip into the shadows of the hallway. The oppressive atmosphere leaves guests unnerved, as though the air itself is charged with the energy of lost souls. 3. The Spanish Governor's Palace. This 18th century building harbors dark secrets. One of the eeriest phenomena experienced here is the overwhelming feeling of being watched. Many claim to have seen shadowy figures moving through the dimly lit halls, and others report hearing disembodied voices whispering in Spanish. One chilling tale involves a visitor who saw a man dressed in colonial-era clothing standing in a doorway. She turned to speak to her friend, only to realize the figure had vanished when she looked back. The energy in the palace feels heavy, as though the very walls have absorbed centuries of suffering and death. 4. San Fernando Cathedral. San Fernando Cathedral is a place of worship, but also of lingering spirits. The church was built atop a graveyard, and many believe the disturbed souls are still trapped here. Paranormal investigators have captured EVP recordings of strange, ghostly prayers. People claim to see faint, ghostly figures during Mass, dressed in outdated clothing, silently mouthing prayers alongside the living. A woman once reported feeling an icy breeze sweep through the pews, and when she turned, a ghostly hand had grasped her arm. The line between the living and the dead seems blurred in this holy place. 5. Victoria's Black Swan Inn. The Black Swan Inn, once the site of a bloody battle, is a hotspot for paranormal activity. Visitors report hearing unexplained footsteps, doors slamming shut, and the faint sound of a woman sobbing in the night. A ghost hunting group captured the chilling voice of a man saying, "Get out," during an investigation. One guest described feeling a heavy weight pressing down on her chest as she slept, as if someone was sitting on her. The oppressive energy is palpable, and many leave the property with an unshakable feeling of dread. 6. The Devil's Bridge. At night, the Devil's Bridge transforms into a place of nightmares. Legend says those who visit after dark may come face to face with something unnatural. A local paranormal group described hearing faint whispers and the unmistakable sound of footsteps behind them, only to find no one there. On one chilling occasion, a visitor reported seeing a tall, shadowy figure standing in the middle of the bridge. As he approached, the figure turned to look at him with glowing red eyes before vanishing into thin air. The bridge seems to be a conduit for something dark, lurking just beyond our world. 7. The Gunter Hotel Room. 636 at the Gunter Hotel is infamous for its connection to a brutal murder in the 1960s. To this day, guests report eerie occurrences, lights flickering, cold drafts, and strange noises. One guest claimed to have woken in the middle of the night to see a figure standing at the foot of her bed, bloody, with an expression of pure terror. She screamed, but when she blinked, the figure was gone. Paranormal investigators have captured strange voices and footsteps in the room, and many believe the spirit of the murdered woman is still trapped within the hotel's walls, reliving her final horrific moments. 8. The Institute of Texan Cultures. This museum is a treasure trove of artifacts and spirits. The most frequently reported phenomena involve objects moving on their own, inexplicable cold spots, and voices calling out from empty rooms. A night guard once heard the sound of children laughing, but when he searched the area, he found nothing. Paranormal investigators claim the building is home to spirits from various cultures, tied to the relics they left behind. One particularly unnerving incident involved a visitor who felt a cold hand grasp his shoulder, only to turn around and find no one there. The spirits here seem to be watching, waiting. 9. Woman Hollering Creek. The legend of La Llorona haunts Woman Hollering Creek. Many have reported hearing her mournful wails at night, crying out for her lost children. One witness claimed to have seen a woman dressed in white standing at the water's edge, sobbing uncontrollably. As he approached, she turned to face him, her face pale and distorted with grief. Before he could react, she let out a blood-curdling scream and vanished. Locals avoid the creek after dark, believing that anyone who hears her cries is doomed to encounter her vengeful spirit. 10. Mission San Jose. Mission San Jose is said to be haunted by the spirits of monks and Native Americans. Visitors frequently report hearing the faint sound of chanting, even when the chapel is empty. One visitor described seeing a figure in a monk's robe walking down the corridor. But when she called out, the figure disappeared into a wall. The energy here is somber, with the sense that the spirits are still performing their duties, bound to the mission by centuries of devotion and tragedy. 11. Brackenridge Park. Brackenridge Park is a picturesque locale during the day, but as night falls, it reveals a sinister past. Once the site of several violent incidents, the park is said to be haunted by the spirits of those who suffered. Visitors report feeling an intense sense of dread, particularly near the old train tracks. One night, a couple walking through the park claimed they saw a shadowy figure darting between the trees. As they moved closer, they heard a chilling voice whisper, "Get out." The couple fled, their hearts racing, and they never returned. The park, once a tranquil retreat, now harbors dark energies that can turn a pleasant stroll into a night of terror. 12. The Old Bexar County Jail. The Old Bexar County Jail has witnessed unimaginable suffering and death. Ghost hunters and paranormal enthusiasts alike flock to this site, hoping to capture evidence of the spirits that linger. Visitors frequently hear chains rattling and the distant echo of prisoners' cries. One investigator recounted a terrifying experience of being locked inside a cell while conducting a spirit box session. A disembodied voice told him, "Leave now." And when he tried to exit, the cell door refused to budge. It wasn't until a fellow investigator returned that the door swung open. The feeling of entrapment and despair permeates the building, leaving visitors shaken. 13. La Villita Historic Arts Village. La Villita, once a military outpost, is now an arts village teeming with history and hauntings. Many visitors report seeing apparitions in old-fashioned attire walking along the cobblestone streets. One artist working late at night claimed to have heard a woman's laughter and the sound of children playing. When she stepped outside, she saw a group of children playing tag, but as she approached, they disappeared into thin air. The air felt thick with the memories of past inhabitants, creating an atmosphere of nostalgia mixed with unease. 14. St. Joseph's Church. St. Joseph's Church is known for its breathtaking architecture and its haunting presence. Churchgoers often report feeling a chill in the air during services, as though the spirits of those who once worshipped here have not left. One parishioner shared a terrifying experience of seeing an ethereal figure in the corner of her eye during Mass. When she turned to look, the figure was gone, leaving only a faint scent of flowers. It is believed that the church is a gathering place for the spirits of those who found solace in its walls, and their presence can be both comforting and unsettling. 15. The Haunted Bridge at the San Antonio River. This bridge has become a notorious location for ghost stories, often visited by those seeking the thrill of the supernatural. Locals whisper of a woman who met her demise here, and her spirit now lingers, searching for something she lost. One brave soul crossed the bridge at midnight, only to hear the sound of soft crying echoing in the darkness. He turned to see a shadowy figure hovering near the edge, her long hair flowing in the wind. Terrified, he ran back, leaving behind a sense of unresolved sorrow that seems to cling to the very air of the bridge. Thank you for joining us on this dark and haunting exploration of the top 15 most haunted places in San Antonio. From chilling encounters with restless spirits to the eerie silence of forgotten places, San Antonio's haunted history is as alive as ever. If you enjoyed this terrifying journey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more spine-tingling ghost stories. Until next time, keep your eyes open. You never know what might be lurking in the shadows.